Hello, hello. Dr. Mark T. Wade here. Excited to be going live with you today. Talk about some pretty cool new things with the Virtual Summit software and also to walk through how to create a summit offer, some order bumps, some upsells, all those good things to make sure that that summit of yours is bringing in the money. Okay. So, Virtual Summit software, if you haven't heard of it already, it is the quickest and easiest way to host a virtual summit. You can check it out over at virtualsummits.com. You can get a 15-day free trial, no billing information collected. Just check it out, see how much you love it, and then you can jump in and start hosting your summit. Now, a couple things to talk about before we get into actually building out the summit offers. I'm going to talk about a brand new feature we just released literally last week, which is going to be a game changer for your summit. I also want to remind you that we have our List Builder Accelerator live coming up. If you haven't checked that out yet, I'll put a link here in the comments to so you can get access to this. But you're going to get 6 top lead gen experts talking about everything from actionable, rapid audience generating strategies to social media growth hacks, leveraging high-pitched affiliate partnerships, relationship building, engaging community, and list building in 30 days or less. So this is going to be live 20-minute lightning strategy sessions. Okay, these are not like long, boring, drawn out masterclass, blah, blah, blah. These are going to be lightning, 20-minute lightning strategy sessions followed by Q&A so that you can get feedback on your specific business or how would that apply to you. So you can come join us there. So I'll put the link to that. Now, if you're inside the Virtual Summit software already, you know this is your dashboard. You're going to see all of the new features that have been being released over the last couple of weeks, our integrative live chat, analytics dashboard, advanced payment systems, new themes. We got over 20 different summit themes, which is over 50 different customizable summit templates, one of the only summit platforms available to give you that level of customization with your virtual summit while still making it simple and easy to do. But this is a big feature right here. We have our brand new Summit Marketplace, which just went live last week. You can get access to that. What's really cool about that is this is where you can put your summit. So you can make your summit available on the marketplace. And then attendees can go through and search for this. So our attendees, our database of attendees can check this out. They can literally just register to attend for your summit right there immediately. So you're going to get even more exposure into your virtual summit like this. Plus, here's a really cool one is you can get affiliates to sign up for your summit and be able to get more people promoting your summit out there. So that's one of the things a lot of summit hosts, those are 2 big things that summit hosts always struggle with is we need more attendees on our summit. So we're trying to get our speakers to promote. We're trying to get people to help us promote. So now with the brand new Summit Marketplace, literally your summit is sitting there. They can immediately sign up. An affiliate can sign up and get an affiliate account that would then show up inside of their affiliate dashboard, which would be sitting right here. So they would have their access just like this. And then they'd be able to see their information, any, leads, et cetera. They get their access, all that stuff's right there. So the Summit Marketplace is huge. It's a game changer. We're really excited about this. And we're going to be taking this. We've got big plans for this over the rest of the year and even into next year, but I'd love to hear your feedback. What would be cool to put into a Summit Marketplace? How could we make it even more successful for you and your summit? Like what benefits other than literally getting people to sign up for your summit right here and getting people to promote it? What other things would you be interested in? So this is the summit dashboard. For those of you who are not inside the virtual summit software, I'm not familiar with this. You're going to have your profile information up here, your billing. If you want to change your plan, we have a variety of different plans. You got the help center here, tours, demos, resources. We got a lot of available resources for you over in the help center. This is big for those of you who are in the virtual summit software already. Don't forget to take advantage of the tutorial, the user guide. It's literally video walkthroughs of every single piece of the virtual summit software. So if you have a question, please make sure you check that out first. So today I want to kind of talk through summit offers while also showing the virtual summit software. So every week I like to do a demo, like to walk through the platform. We are releasing so many new features that literally, every week things change inside of the Virtual Summit software for the better. So just to get a quick overview here on the left, you're going to have your summit progress. If you click on that, that's a little kind of hidden fact, actually. We should probably make that more aware, but if you actually click on it, it takes you to a guide of essential steps and then optional steps for your summit. On the left side here is your navigation bar, your menu. These are the components that you're going to build out on your summit. Okay, some of these are mandatory, some of them are not. Let's just walk through that. So on your summit details, these are the details of your summit. Okay, is it a free summit, which majority of them are going to be, or is it a paid summit? Like, is it a premier summit? You got your logo, your cover image, the details. What categories does your summit fall into? This is important because of that marketplace. That's what's going to be shown when attendees are searching for it. What type of summit is it? Is it a one-day summit? Is it like a live stream conference, etc.? How many days, time zones, reply to email, your subdomain, etc. And these here are also important. This cover image right here, this is the color. This is the cover image opacity. So if you're using the simplified themes, that's important because that'll change the opacity here over that cover image to make those fonts and things stand out a little bit more. We've got our hosts right here, super simple. Details of a host, name, email, or not email, name, title, bio, headshot. Post summit, this is for after the summit. Okay, so this is one of our proprietary technologies built into Virtual Summit software. It's for after the summit, but it's a game changer. It's essentially revolutionized summits when we invented this about 4 years ago. But the Ever Summit feature, what it does is when the Ever Summit feature is on, it reruns your summit as if it's happening for the ongoing for the first time. Meaning, let's say you set it to happen once a week. Anybody that comes to that landing page, sees, okay, the summit's starting next Tuesday. They go in, the software unlocks and locks all of the sessions based on the appropriate days and times, then locks it down at the end. They go back to that landing page, says, sorry, registration's ended. Please upgrade. They have to buy your all access pass, right? But all new attendees that come to that same landing page see that the summit starts next Tuesday. How cool is that? Okay. So that's a game changer to be able to use your summit ongoing forever, hence a forever summit or ever summit. The just-in-time feature is just that. It means the summit is shown that it's happening right now. Again, both of these are for after you run your summit the first time. But after that, maybe like the difference here with the Ever Summit, it's really great if you've got like a sequence of emails that you want sent out at a specific time. Whereas the just-in-time feature is going to show to the attendee, like, hey, the summit's starting right now. Jump in now and get access before you miss it. So then they jump in and they get to day one and it unlocks it for that attendee right then and there. So that's going to be per attendee based on that attendee, that sequence that it's thrown to. Got our speakers over here. So with our speakers, we're going to have, adding a speaker is real simple, name, email, and then whether you want that sent out to them. If you do send it out to them, they're going to be able to get a speaker account where they can insert their own information. If they've already got an account inside of Virtual Summit software, you can just auto-populate that in there. You're also going to see here whether they have completed or not, whether they or you, whoever's doing it, has completed or not the presentation profile or if they've been scheduled. Okay. So that being said, here you can have the ability to make this speaker visible or invisible. Maybe you're waiting for that speaker to get you something in order, and it's getting down to the last minute or they haven't scheduled their interview yet or whatever. Instead of deleting that speaker and then having to recreate everything again after that, you can just make it hidden and then it's removed immediately from the entire, summit. Then if they get you that stuff, you just make it visible again and it's there. Now, another thing to note here is this order. So this is drag and drop right here. And this order of this is going to be based on, is going to be the order that is going to be shown for, on your landing page of the simplified themes. So specifically, if you're using like simplified themes in that, this is going to be the order of the landing page right there. Okay. With that being said, presentations here, pretty simple. We have multi-presentation functionality available, meaning you could have more than one presentation for a speaker. You add those presentations just like that. Which speaker do you want? What's the title? Is it pre-recorded or live streamed? You put that URL, the video URL there, description. If you're going to add a lead magnet or a free gift for that speaker, it would go right there. And then that shows up here. You can get a quick view and check that out. Also, interactive live chat. So we have interactive live chat on the summit. People, your attendees, your speakers, your hosts can all interact and talk and chat. Global settings to that is right here. So you can set it for everything, or you can make certain things visible. You could, maybe you've got your sales session that you don't want to have chat on. You can make it hidden. Also, really good function is if you're using that Ever Summit feature, you can have it visible but inactive, meaning the social proof will be there. They can still see all the chat. They're just not going to be able to actually interact on that. And that's good if you don't want to have to keep managing the chat and checking to see if anybody commented today, which you actually do the chat. You manage the comments on the chat over here at the schedule area. Right here, you can see all the different chats available. And what will happen is if you have a new comment, there'll be a little red number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, how many comments there are will just appear right here on these chats. So you'll be able to quickly and easily see if one of these, on day 3, if there is a chat or a comment on one of these chats, and you can just go in and interact with that or comment back on that, manage it however you want or need to. I mean, you can manage it by deleting it. Obviously, you can respond with all kinds of emojis, things like that. You can manage users, block users, et cetera, et cetera. All that's right here with the chat. So that's really cool because it gives you a real simple, easy way to manage that chat. So that was speakers, presentations. The same thing with presentations about visibility, making that invisible or not. Email templates here. So this is also where GDPR is at. So if you're in Europe, Canada, California, this is how you can activate GDPR settings. You'll want to make sure that one is set to force mandatory. And these are just, normal GDPR. For everybody else, I recommend keeping that off there. Here's the email reminders. This is where you can change those templates if you want to. These are reminders that are sent out, not meant to take the place of your CRM. We're at the scheduler here. This is the schedule. Okay. So this is exactly, you just drag and drop. You bring your speakers, just drag and drop those over into the days that you want. And then this is the exact order they'll be in inside of the summit. So you just put those in whatever order you want them to be. What time do you want those sessions to start? This is in the time zone of the attendees. So this will be based in their time zone, unless they have like a VPN blocker or something like that, then it'll be set by default into the time zone you set here. So if they don't have that, it'll be set to their time zone. Also, how long do you want these sessions available? Okay. Very common is 24 hours, but the last year or so, people have been experimenting with having it even longer than 24 hours. So like 48 hours, giving them more time to interact with that. Please note this order by time. This is an advanced feature. I just had a question coming in about that earlier. So I don't recommend, honestly, we put this here because during COVID, we had a lot of people request, like we had a lot of in-person conferences trying to go virtual, and they were trying to run their virtual conference the exact same way they would run a virtual conference, which is they would set it as a time. They go 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, et cetera, et cetera. And they'd have each session by like 1 hour, which honestly, that's how you run an in-person conference, but that's not what your virtual attendees want. And that just increases your customer support response, because they're going to go, hey, I missed that one session, and that's the one session I wanted. So one, you're decreasing attendee satisfaction, you're increasing your customer support. So I don't recommend you do that unless you're literally trying to make it look like a live stream, like an in-person conference. Okay. And then what you need to do. So this was the question that got brought up to my attention. What they had done is they brought all of the attendees in, or all of the speakers in, and then they set it. So they had all the speakers in, and then they set it like this. What's going to happen? You're going to notice the times are kind of at different orders. And then as you set a time like that, it may auto rearrange depending on what these are, because it's going to set them in the order. So if this was, if I go to set this at, I don't know, like 6 a.m., and then I set that, and let me Okay. Well, boom. Now it redoes this. Now, if you've got 10 or 15 speakers on there, it's going to start moving it all around before you can get to the end time and all that stuff. So what I recommend is one by one, you bring your speakers in and then you set the time. And that's if you're going to do it. Like, there's really no benefit to using this. We brought it there because it was a feature request that a lot of in-person conference hosts wanted, but I don't know why they would, I wouldn't recommend it. Okay. So I would just stay with, honestly, the most common is the whole day session, or if you're doing like a 1-day summit, you can do like a 2-day session. Okay. So there's that. Let's see what else here. So that was the scheduler. We just went through that. Okay, let's get into the offers and tiers now. Okay, so we're talking about offers, talking about tiers, bonuses, and that's what I wanted to talk about here is kind of some of the strategy behind that. And one of the real powerful parts of Virtual Summit software is monetization. A lot of these other platforms out there don't give you customization or opportunities to really maximize revenue. Okay. So very standard. I'm just going to take a second here to like explain this. So just stay with me, but very standard in the old times, kind of way back, was the 3 tiers. So low, middle, high. Okay. That's what we have right here. So this is our Summit Pass, which is my low tier. We've got our Summit Pack, which is our middle tier, and then our Summit Super Pack, which is our highest tier. Now, it's very common nowadays to have other options, such as just one thing you're selling. Okay, so for example, just the one thing we're selling here, well, on this one is actually this. Okay, so this is a low ticket option. Let me see if I can find another one to give another example here. Let's see if this one has one in it. Oh, actually, I know where we should go. We should go to this, and I'll show you another example. So I'm showing you different examples of offers. So right here, this is just one offer. Okay, so our main offer is this speaker database, $97. So it's just one tier. Okay, another way you're hearing me call it as offers, you'll very often hear it referred to as an all access pass. So in the past, all access passes, they had 3 tiers: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, like I just showed you. Very common now to just have one tier, one offer available on your summit. And then there's another strategy that we invented way back, which is the anchor, which is what we call an anchor tier, which is, so normally you'd have a small tier like 67, middle tier at like 97, and the higher tier would be like 120, 119, something like that. We started implementing the anchor tier, which is a much higher price than what you're going to normally see on a summit. We did it to anchor the lower prices, and also to convince not to convince, but to familiarize our attendees with a higher price point before they got to the post-summit offer, because our post-summit offer is going to be a much higher price point. So the anchor tier, what we did was to familiarize with them so they hadn't only seen these small price points and then get to the post-summit offer and be like, wow, that's too high or that's too much. So we invented this strategy called the anchor tier to kind of anchor the price point of what was going to happen later. What we ended up finding out, to our surprise, is that even with the anchor tier being the least amount of purchases, so for example, the small tier would normally get a majority of the purchases. This would get a couple, this would get some, and then the anchor tier would get much less. It still generated the most revenue because of how high it was. So that's the anchor tier. That's something to consider there. Now, one of the other things to keep in mind is a very common strategy. And let me see if I have it on here. Exactly. Okay, perfect. So obviously these are all of our summits. You can tell we've been running summits for almost a decade. We got quite a few summits. And here's a really important, here's something I should have said from the very beginning. For those of you who are tuning into this that have not run a summit, or who are not inside of Virtual Summit software already, or you ran a summit in the past and you didn't use Virtual Summit software. So obviously we were running summits before Virtual Summit software ever existed, right? Which is why we invented Virtual Summit software, to make it was the first platform ever for hosting virtual summits, to make it quicker and easier to host a virtual summit. So all we did was then bring all of our summits from the other WordPress platforms we had built them out on and brought them into Virtual Summit software. We were able to do it in like an hour or maybe 2 hours. You got all the materials and you can bring those, you can port those right in very quickly, very easily, and then use Virtual Summit software with the Ever Summit mode or the just-in-time feature to continue to get benefit and value out of those summits. So if you're sitting there with a summit you ran on WordPress or something like that, and it's not doing anything for you, one, bring it on Virtual Summit software and put it on the marketplace so it gets exposure. But two, even if you have content that could be organized in the stance of a summit, you could get benefit from this. Okay. That being said, one of the other strategies, probably most popular strategy for like 4 or 5 years, was what's called the decoy effect. So the decoy effect is essentially you have one of the lower tiers, and then you have 2 tiers, which are the exact same price. The only difference is one tier has one additional benefit. Now, the whole point of the decoy effect, or this is a psychological trigger. This is a something that's been researched and shown, is that the decoy effect, what happens is most people shop based on price. If you can get them to see value and they start to shop based on value, you're going to increase your revenue per customer, per attendee, if we're talking about a summit. So what happens if we're making this about a summit, if we've got that, like we talked about, the original small, medium, and large tier, people are going to go, they're going to find the smallest price point. They're going to look at it and goes, okay, that has everything I want. Boom, I'm good. They're not even going to look at the higher tiers. So what happens with the decoy effect, they would go through and the attendees will scan the tiers. They'll go, okay, $49, $97, and then $97. And they'll go, wait a second. And they'll think there was a mistake. So they'll stop and they'll look. And they'll go, why are these two the exact same price? Did they make a mistake? And then what they end up doing is their perception, their attention goes to the higher priced tier, and they start to go, okay, it has this, it has this, it has it. Oh, this has one more this. But by the end of it, they see the value in that tier, and it increases the amount of people who will purchase the higher price tier. So what ended up happening, if like 70% of people normally with the small, medium, large tier would then just normally purchase the lower price tier because they're just shopping based on price. Now with the decoy effect, it would flop. You'd end up getting like 70% would buy the higher tier and 30% would buy the lower tier. Now, it doesn't increase the number of people who purchase. So if you had 100 people purchase, still about 100 people. The difference is you generated more revenue from those same number of people because more people purchased the higher price tier than the lower price tier. Okay. So that's the decoy effect. So we got the small, medium, large, which is very standard. We got the single tier, we got the anchor tier, and then we have the decoy effect. Okay. Now, how do you create a offer inside of Virtual Summit software? Very simple and easy. You got your image, you got the name. What is the price point? What's the value of this? So what is it normally? Like, what's the total value? Is this a reoccurring payment or not? Okay. Is it 1 month, weeks, month, or until canceled? That could also be like a payment plan if you wanted. Details, and then the deliverables. Okay. So is this a file they're going to download, or are you sending them somewhere to like a membership or a course or something like that? You can put the link there. This is also how you can add an order bump. So let's take one step back on this. Also with offers, with Virtual Summit software, we got multi-currency. So when you're creating your offers, tiers, bonuses, etc., you want to think of it as first, what's the thing I'm selling? Okay, I'm going to create my offer. That's going to fit into a tier. Okay, like small, medium, large tier, or anchor tier, or whatever, or decoy effect tier. So you're going to create your offer. Do you have any additional offers? Okay, do you have an order bump? Do you have any upsells? So let's go back to look at like this one. So let's see here. So, okay, this is the one offer tier that we had. This is single tier. So single offer, I'm selling this, but I'm going to create an order bump. So I'm going to create another offer. That's going to be my order bump. And then I've got 3 upsells here. I'm going to go upsell, upsell, upsell. Actually, I take that back. This is what we're selling on this. This is the main offer. And then we've got order bump, upsell, upsell, upsell. Okay. So I create all the things I'm selling. And again, you create them the exact same way right here. What's the image? What's it called? Price point value. How do they get access to it? Is there refunds, etc.? So now that I've created all my offers, I've got my main offers, I got my order bumps, I got my upsells. I'm going to go back to my main offer. Here's my virtual summit training program, my main offer. And you're going to add, if you have an order bump, you're going to add that order bump to this offer. So I just select that order bump and now it's automatically added. It's connected to this offer that I'm selling. Now, keep in mind, if you're doing the 3 tiers or 3 offers, so offer, small, medium, large, you may have the same order bump and you can attach it to all 3, or maybe you change the order bump based on your offer, but you'll still want to attach it to all 3. So now that we've had all of our offers created and we've attached order bumps, if we have one, we're then going to build out our bonuses. Now, our bonuses are very similar, okay? It's what's the name, what's the image, and then how do they get access to it, okay? So the very same thing right there. Now, with that being said, now that we've created our offers and our bonuses, now we create the tiers, okay? So we have our registration tier. The registration tier, that's where if you're running a summit that's free to attend, right, they can attend it for free. The registration tier is automatically going to be created here. You can't delete it because that's where everybody who's going to be at that has not purchased one of your higher price things. And this is also the people who are in this tier, this registration tier, will have the summit locked down for them when each of the session ends or when the summit ends, okay? Now, you can still go through here and maybe you're going to give a registration bonus or, you're going to create something to give as an incentive just to register. You could add that right there. And you can also attach, you can attach your email list so they go into that email list right here. Now, then we're going to go through and create our tiers. So with this tier, we just have one tier. Let's go look at another one over here. So with this tier, I've got 3 tiers, right? This is the decoy effect one. So I got my small one, I got my middle one, and then I've got my decoy tier, okay? So I've got 3 tiers I've created. And again, creating those tiers are very simple. Name, what rank, if you want to set that, the description. You want to set this to lifetime access because the people who purchase this or have this tier, they're going to maintain access. This is your all access pass, essentially. So they're going to get lifetime all access. Again, what email list are we attaching that to? Now that I've done that, I've created the tier. I'm going to select what do I want to go into this tier. So what is the offer that I'm selling? Okay, so this is going to be my $49 offer. This is going to be that $97 offer. This is going to be that decoy offer. You can see in this instance, this example, I just labeled them or named them the same. Now with my lowest tier, I'm going to give less bonuses. So there's one bonus here, there's multiple bonuses here, and there's multiple bonuses here. Okay. Now in this example, I don't have any upsells selected. Let's go here to an upsell one. So with this, we're going to go here and we're going to look. This was a single tier. Okay. So it's got the single tier. This is, remember we talked about there's different versions or different strategies right now with summit offers, small, medium, large, single tier, single offer. You got the anchor tier offer. You got the decoy effect. So a variety of different things. Now with this one here, we got the single tier. We've got that one offer. And remember with this, it has an order bump attached to it. That order bump was attached to it in the offer level. I added these bonuses and then I added these upsells. Now keep in mind the order of the upsells are this order. So this is first upsell, this is the second upsell, and this is the third upsell. And I can rearrange those into whatever order I want them to be. But this is upsell 1, upsell 2, upsell 3. Okay, and so let's go take a look at that. So we've done our offers. We've created all the offers. We've created the order bumps. We attached the order bump to the offer. We created our bonuses, and then we added everything into the appropriate tier that it goes to. We selected our upsells, okay, and put those in the order we want. So I'm going to go here. Let me put this onto test mode, and then let's go here to the sales page, and let's check this out. So here's this offer. I'm going to click this, boom. Now I've got this in test mode. So you can see that this says, hey, this is a test order, no actual payment. Okay. That's one of the really cool features with Virtual Summit software is you can go through and you can test this all out without having to put in all your, your billing information, etc. So this is that order bump right here. 25. Do I want to add that? So it's a bump to the order. Okay. It's a bump to the order. So if I wanted to add that there, I could. Okay. Boom. The person confirms this. They would put in, if this was live, they put in their stuff. And then once that is processed, boom, boom. Now I am immediately taken to the upsell. So this is the first upsell. Okay. There's a video. This is what I'm buying. I can either buy it or say no thanks. Let's go ahead and buy that. Boom. That was that first upsell. Remember, let me see if I can go back here. Okay. Summit scripts. That's the first order. Okay. So boom, interview with impact. There's the details. I could have the video playing if I want. I can buy that, or I can say no thanks. And again, this is that one-click Summit upsell. One-click Summit upsell. So they already put their details. They already put their information in when they bought the Summit offer. So now what happens? Okay. So this is really important to talk about. The Summit, I kind of just glazed over this here with the Summit upsells, the one-click Summit upsells. Why this is so powerful and why this is so important, why this Virtual Summit Software is one of the only platforms specifically for summits that even gives you this ability, is it can increase your revenue by up to 30% or more on your summit offer. So if somebody's they're a hot lead, they're a buyer, they're buying, they're saying yes. If you got really good offers, they'll say yes 2, 3, 4 times ongoing. So usually on average with a good summit, a good offer and good upsells, you can expect about 30% of the people who purchase your summit offer to buy one of the summit upsells as well, especially if it's this simple. One click. Yes, I'm buying it. I don't have to reinsert my information in. And now boom. Okay. So what's really cool about that is that means if that upsell or if your original offer was $97, with 30%, if you had 100 people that ended up buying something on the upsells, and let's just say all the upsells were $100, so that means 30 people are buying another $100 worth of stuff. That's $3,000 extra you just got on your summit that you wouldn't have gotten, not including the order bump, etc. So that summit upsell is so powerful for increasing revenue on your summit, and Virtual Summit Software gives it and makes it easy. Again, this is we built this platform for us and our summits because we run summits and we want it to be quick. We want it to be easy and we want it to be powerful and successful. Now, this is the thank you page here. You can see I just purchased all these things. Again, I was in test mode, so it didn't actually charge me anything. So you always want to make sure you go back. If you're in test mode, you need to go back over here and turn it back live because you don't want that. You don't want anybody else going through and purchasing it on test mode. But now quickly, easily, the person who just purchased their stuff can get access to their things. That was a download. This here is, let's see here. This is this is a link directing me to where I need to go to get access to the thing I just purchased, etc. So they've got their order summary here that's also emailed to them. And if they got their access, they can go right here straight into their summit, and then they can watch the summit and get going with their summit and also have that available there as well. So I wanted to walk you through this because it is such a powerful the summit offers, order bumps, and one-click summit upsells are so important for increasing the revenue of your summit. And it's one of the most powerful things that some Virtual Summit Software brings together is that ability to have this here. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm not going to go through all of these components. I like to just, when we do these weekly demos, I like to every week talk about the summit, but I like to do it in a way with strategy to give you some information about it. Here's the summit site. We have our sponsorship tiers here. You can sponsor tiers, all that's there. Summit site builder, you can either embed it. You got simplified theme options here, which is very quick, very easy. This is kind of what I recommend if you're, especially if you're not super savvy with page builders and things like that, just use one of these summit, these simplified themes. They're professional. They look great. You can get it done in 20, 30, 40 minutes. Or if you want, you can completely build and customize your summit site here. This we were talking about earlier where, we've got over 20 different summit themes to choose from. That's, with over 50 different templates. You got your sales page. You can just bring sections in, drag and drop those as needed. All that's there. So that's your Summit Builder. Summit Affiliate dashboard right here. Super powerful. This I have never, like, we've been using, so this is a feature we released earlier this year, which is really more than a feature. It's a full platform. But this is like, I've used so many different affiliate platforms over the last 10 years for my summits. And some of them were good, most of them weren't, but all of them were complex, difficult, and like, gosh, I hope this works. I hope this link works. We've made this so easy. Literally, when you add a speaker into your summit, it automatically creates them an affiliate account. You can always add other people who are not speakers, and you can give them the ability to add themselves. You can just send this link, and this will be on your summit site as well for people to sign up as affiliates. And remember the marketplace. People can sign up as affiliates like that too. But it immediately creates them an affiliate account, which they have access to. It creates them a referral link automatically. You don't have to do anything, and they could have what they need to start referring and sending traffic. Now you have global settings here for your summit commissions. You can do specific commissions for your different offers right there. You can also disable if you didn't want affiliates signing up, which I don't know why you do that. But then you have an overview of the affiliates, and you can get a little bit deep dive into them, how many leads, what's their commissions, etc. I can change their commission offers right there. I can send them specific notes individually, or I can send them all a note like, hey, here's your swipe copy, or summit starts today, etc. All commission generated will go here first, waiting for your approval. Once it's approved, it comes here in the all commissions. Once you pay that affiliate, you can mark those as paid, and that'll track that. Again, so that's the affiliate dashboard. We have a team. You got attendees over here. Inside the attendees, you got all kinds of different options here where you can check out what transactions, like what purchases have these attendees made. Is that a purchase reoccurring? I can stop payments, refund that. I also can see engagement. So like if they have viewed any sessions or anything like that, I can see that right there. Integrations here, and then overview here. This is where all your links are at. This is your page. This is the login link if you're sending those to already registered. Summit portals there, sales page, thank you page. A quick overview of analytics there, and then a deeper dive into analytics here. Session overviews, page overviews and conversions, offer overviews, amounts, conversions, and then all your individual transactions are all outlined there. So you can refund those as needed. So that's just an overview this week. I wanted to go through Summit offers. If you haven't checked out Virtual Summit software, you should do that. You can do that over at virtualsummits.com. Again, we have a full 15-day free trial, no billing information collected. You can also see our most recent feature releases. You can get a demo of the software right there. Our pricing plans are here, and our resources are here. We've got all kinds of amazing resources, Summit resources. Our podcast is amazing. We've got trainings and more. So you can check that out all right there. Also, don't forget, I'll put a link to in the comments here for the List Builder Accelerator Live. It's going live this Thursday. You can get online access to this for free. We're going to go through a lot of important details on generating leads by some of the top experts in this area right now. And it's going to be 20-minute lightning strategy sessions. And then you can get real-time feedback, Q&A, all available right there. So again, if you haven't checked out the Summit, brand new Summit Marketplace, if you're inside of Virtual Summit software and you haven't already turned your Summit on, turn it on, post it in the Virtual Summits Marketplace. All you're going to be doing is giving yourself more exposure to attendees. So if you have an old Summit or a previous Summit that you've set to Ever Summit, once it's set to Ever Summit, and once your Summit is published, needs to be in live mode, then you come on and you can just turn it on to the Marketplace, and it'll be placed over here in the Marketplace for people to check it out, to register, to attend, etc. I'm Dr. Mark T. Wade. I am the founder of Virtual Summit Software. If you have any questions, please let us know. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback. Again, I would love to know how you could envision that marketplace growing and changing and evolving, what else we should have in there. make sure you let me know. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you inside the platform.